do 12 or lower because of how fast these take, or it matters on how they cook. Now with this, I'm going to get a measuring cup so I could pour it into the blender that I have my wet ingredients in, and so I don't make a total mess just pouring the whole bowl in at once. I'm going to use a half cup to pour all of this in, but I'm going to blend a little bit at a time so that it gets a perfect consistency. And also remember to tie your hair up before you cook because the hair can get into the food. Just going to put like 2 of these and then blend. Remember, if you don't think this is enough dough for how many people you're making it for, you could totally make more. Like this, now it's fully mixed in. The flour and everything is mixed into each other. Now when you this thing, we have these to put all of our spoon, stuff like that, spatulas to keep the counters clean. Now you're gonna add more flour, your dry ingredients to it. And if you need more white ingredients, that is totally fine. You're gonna add more. Because I know it sometimes, What's at the end? We're going to do it a few more times, like 2 more times. Until it's completely mixed in. And after it's completely mixed in, you're going to add your chocolate chips. You can either do dark chocolate or do any chocolate chips you prefer. These say semi-sweet chocolate chips. So that is what I'm doing. But you can pick any chocolate chips you want. Like this dough looks like it does need just a little bit more liquid to it. So I may add another egg because those were medium eggs and it asked for large eggs. So I might going to add 1 egg. And if you prefer and you want them soft and chewy, really chewy, then you can even add a little bit of milk because that's what I did last time and it turned out really good. It made them creamy. Throw that away. And then you are going to mix the egg into the dough to make, and yes, I might need milk because that makes the cookies way better than before. You only got to put it on for a few seconds for the egg to blend into the dough. Then you can get your milk out just in case you need it. You may put it in a measuring cup just so you know. And just so you have a little bit out, not too much out. Then after you put that egg in, you're going to put 2 more. And I know, yes, you will need more liquid because it doesn't go always perfect as it usually says. And I'm just like my dad, I always add my own stuff to the recipes, so then they're not just a regular recipe, you just steal someone else's idea, and it makes it so you have your own recipe. Let that mix together. You can either do the 30 seconds that it had, and then need more eggs. I'm going to get the thing cooked in milk. I'm just going to put a little bit in here, so then, and I can use a little bit at a time. It may not need that much, but it just helps it so it's more creamy than hard. And everybody wants their cookies more soft than hard. Okay? We'll see how that dough is. Stick our thing in. okay, we will have to add a little bit more milk because, a little bit of milk because we do have a little bit of dry ingredients left to put in there, and it is looking a little dry inside. And if you need, you could double the recipe. You can times it by however many you need. Okay, that is all. You may want to rinse off the half because you may need it again. So put water in your bowl before, so the flour does not stay there and it may dry onto the bowl. And now I'm going to add the lid back on and start blending it again. And if you need, you can add more oil. I use sunflower oil because it actually makes it more softer. I used to use vegetable oil, but now I use sunflower oil because it makes them softer and chewy inside. We're just going to let it go for the 12 seconds that it has on the blender. And we'll see how the consistency is, and we'll move over back over here, but move all the things out of the way because we will need the surface to make the size of the cookies. But before you put it over there, you gotta add the chocolate chips. You can add as many as you want. Even if it says just a bag, you can even add more than a bag. But you should only not add the whole bag of chocolate chips at once. Just add like half of it, maybe less than that if you need it. But because if you add all of it, it'll be a little bit of a challenge to get all the chocolate chips and mix it with the dough. You might have to go with your spatula and mix it in yourself. And like before, what I'm going to do while that is in the blender, I'm going to grab my hand and just sprinkle flour over these two pieces of parchment paper that I have laying down on a towel. Then I can shape the dough and put it, make it into balls. And I use this parchment paper that is pre-cut, that fits pans that we have. And it's so much easier because then you don't have to make the wrong sizes, too small, too big. And now let's check on the dough because it's done. Let's see. Okay, it is having a little bit of trouble with the chocolate chips mixing in, but we'll still add a little bit more chocolate chips to it. You're going to have to put you have to take a few different times to put the chocolate chips in because, like I said, it doesn't blend all the way in one spin. You may need to, before, in the middle of the stirring, just push them down so they mix actually into the dough. And these cookies, I have had multiple people love them. And so this is the recipe I'm using for now on, and these are homemade cookies, chocolate chip cookies.